Presidential candidate Rick Santorum is holding a rally in the capital city. News at 9 reporter Melissa McKinney is live from the rally. First at 9, and Melissa, you're in the midst of all the action. How are voters responding to Santorum?
Well, Tametria, the action is actually just wrapped up here. You can kind of see behind me there are still a few folks on the podium.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa. And we'll have much more from that rally coming up tonight on WSFA 12 News at 10. Santorum and Gingrich also participated in a GOP forum in Birmingham earlier tonight. The two candidates were in the Magic City talking about those high gas prices, how they can improve the economy, and they were also attacking President Obama.
How pathetic his foreign policy. We need a president that's going to say yes to energy development in this country, that's going to create jobs, tens of thousands of jobs, lower gas prices, lower natural gas prices. We need a president who understands what gets this economy going.
If we developed our energy capacity to the degree we could, that would bring down the price of gasoline on the theory that supply and demand works. This is not something Obama is very used to.
Well, many voters are figuring out which name to check on their ballots tomorrow for the primaries. And while the GOP hopefuls continue to take shots at one another, today they are also taking aim on the man whose job they hope to take. Jim Acosta has the Decision 2012 details. And of course, Ann Romney is backing her man. She, along with her husband, campaigned separately across the state, hitting every city and small town they could. We caught up with Ann Romney this afternoon during a campaign stop in Montgomery. Romney boldly asked Romney's GOP candidates to step down and throw their support behind her husband.
I think it's really time for us all to coalesce and recognize that the battle now is against Obama. And even though, you know, it won't be over, it should be over. And we need to coalesce around one candidate. There is only one candidate that can win the nomination at this point. And it's time for us to unite as a party and to move on to the next phase. And the next phase is going to be a difficult phase, and we have to recognize that this is going to be a battle.
Ann Romney credits herself for Mitt Romney running for this election year. Well, Newt Gingrich was in Mississippi today for one last push before that state holds its primary tomorrow. Gingrich spoke at the Gulf Coast Energy Summit in Biloxi. He blasted President Obama on his energy policy.
The wind industry kills about 33,000 birds a year. You know, but nobody in the Justice Department has thought about going after wind because wind is green, and therefore dead birds on behalf of green is good, but dead birds in an oil patch are bad.
While Newt Gingrich was in the hospitality state and middle Alabama, some of his biggest supporters hit the wiregrass. Gingrich's daughter, Jackie Gingrich Gushman, along with Miss America 1995 Heather Whitestone McCollum, campaigning on his behalf.
Less government, lower taxes, and more power back to the people. I agree with that. That's why I'm here, to encourage people in Alabama to vote for Newt.
Everywhere we went, his American energy plan really resonated with people for a couple of reasons. First, at $2.50 a gallon, we'd have a lot more money in our pockets. And secondarily, it's creating jobs in America. It's creating additional businesses. It's really freeing us from the Middle East in terms of national security.
The presidential candidate made a visit to the Circle City over the weekend. And the presidential candidates aren't the only ones on tomorrow's ballot. There are a number of statewide races, including the 3 men running for Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court. News at 9 reporter Sally Pitts continues our election coverage. In that report, we're missing Charlie Graddick. Well, he declined an on-camera interview with us, but he is a former attorney general and current circuit court judge. Graddick says he would only serve 1 term because of Alabama's mandatory retirement age. 2 judges are going head-to-head in the associate justice race for the Alabama Supreme Court. Deborah Jones is a circuit judge in the 7th Judicial Circuit District of Calhoun and Claiborne counties. Judge Tommy Bryant currently sits on the Court of Civil Appeals. And a quick reminder, polls are open tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. WSFA 12 News and the News at 9 is your source for full Decision 2012 coverage. We'll have first results scrolling across the bottom of your screen and on WSFA.com. WSFA 12 News will provide you live coverage of the state and presidential races starting at 8:30. Well, as you head to the polls tomorrow, what can you expect weather-wise? Well, it's been rainy and mild all day today in our area. Right now, Jeff is in the storm center tracking those showers, and he has your updated forecast. Jeff? Down to a murder investigation in Elmore County. It happened in the Titus community. Elmore County investigators say 41-year-old Jamie Slay allegedly shot his common-law wife, 31-year-old Patricia Allen, in the mouth while she sat in a recliner. It happened Friday night in this home on Titus Road, about 15 miles north of Wetumpka. Sheriff Bill Franklin tells us the couple had been drinking all day, and that led to an argument, but it was not clear what the fight was about. Sheriff Franklin says Slay confessed to the crime. He's being held in the Elmore County Jail. Agents confiscated 67 pounds of marijuana in Montgomery County. Alabama and federal agents announced the arrest today. Agents seized $200,000 worth of weed, more than $18,000 in cash, 2 cars, and a weapon. The 2 suspects are not being identified right now, but authorities say both are a part of an organization that distributed more than $1 million of marijuana in the last year. Well, 29 people are behind bars tonight after an undercover drug operation in Ozark. The search for more drugs and those handling the drugs isn't over. News at 9 reporter Hannah Lane has the latest.